Hello, and welcome to another spiritual learning video. Today we're going to go over what is spirituality. We've been doing all these Thursdays, but we didn't go over the most important thing. What is spirituality? Spirituality is different for everyone. It is a personal exploration. However, I'm going to explain the consensus about spirituality. Spirituality involves the recognition of a feeling or sense or belief that there is something greater than yourself, something more to being human than sensory experience, and that the greater whole of which we are part of is cosmic or divine in nature. Spirituality means knowing that our lives have significance in a context beyond the mundane, everyday existence at the level of biological needs that drive selfishness and aggression. It means knowing that we are a significant part of a purposeful unfolding of life in our universe. Spirituality involves exploring certain universal themes: love, compassion, life after death, and truths with the knowledge that some people, such as saints or enlightened individuals, have achieved and manifested higher levels of development than an ordinary person. Aspiring to manifest the attributes of such inspirational examples often becomes an important part of the journey through life for spiritually inclined people. The spiritual journey involves first healing and affirming the ego so that positive states are experienced. With secure self-esteem, belief in self-worth, and the capability of love and generosity, a person becomes less constrained by ego defenses. An opening of the heart is an essential aspect of true spirituality. In this regard, one may start to question the spiritual nature of masochistic religious practices. Practices such as self-flagellation, which is based on the belief in the wickedness inherent of the body rather than on the real connection with the body. Spiritual development often involves spontaneous happenings that cannot be accounted for scientifically and that may be attributed to an external force, for example, grace, or angelic or divine interventions. Development may not necessarily be an instantaneous event, but can happen more gradually, as when going through an experience of severe illness or a terminal diagnosis, when the fragility of life is revealed and a person reevaluates the meaning of their life. Whether there is any objective reality to the beliefs of spiritually inclined people is an area of debate and controversy, often taking place in the arena of philosophy as a discipline independent of the beliefs that supposedly taint the intellect capacities of those who are spiritually inclined. A sociologist in the 70s said, if you are inside the group, you don't have the objectivity to study the phenomena. If you are outside the group, you don't really know what it is you're studying. So the research often stays in the safe arena of behavior, which is superficial and can be uninformative or misleading. Religious philosophize certain aspects of spiritual awareness into a coherent belief system that can be taken on trust, even if the person has no direct experience of the divine. For instance, a person might believe that Jesus is the Son of God because that is what the Bible teaches, whereas another person may have had a vision of Jesus in person telling him or her that he is the Son of God. Direct experience of truth as opposed to intellect knowledge is considered key in mystical experience. The belief system of religion extends beyond the individual's experience to his or her role in society, and morality-based rules are formulated to govern relationships and activities. Usually, religion is manifested as a collective through church, mosque, synagogue, or temple, and is involved with the community as much as with individuals. This provides a real framework through which the greater than me can start to be experienced. The debate about the status of spiritual beliefs, such as the existence of God, the meaning of life, the absolute existence of moral laws, and many more such, typically appears to reach an impasse between mature spiritual seekers and the skeptics. To the spiritual person, the skeptic appears like a blind man trying to say something about sight when it is absent in himself. And the spiritual person, to the skeptic, as a vulnerable person motivated by emotional needs to find some delusion area of comfort or support. For a believer, there is no need to prove in any rational way that God exists, as his existence is self-evident in his creation. For others, while the evident order within the universe at micro level is sufficient to demonstrate that there is an intelligence at work much greater than the human mind, this does not justify naming it as God. Since neither side can understand the other, the debate will no doubt continue indefinitely. It isn't clear why some people have spiritual dimensions to their life and some simply don't. Certainly, it is not something that can be reduced to a cognitive belief system. The core experience is of not being alone, of being somehow connected to something greater, or being in a relationship with a higher self, higher beings, or God. It is often a conscious apprehension of the ultimate mystery that is life, the universe, and everything in it that characterizes the spiritual seeker. The skeptic confines himself to rational inquiry, while the spiritual person knows that there is more to understanding than logic and reason. In fact, he knows that the true understanding goes well beyond logic and reason into a deeper truth of not knowing. We just have to take spirituality for what it is. Spirituality is a very broad concept with room for many perspectives. In general, it includes a sense of connection to something bigger than ourselves, and it typically involves a search for the meaning of life. The relationship between religion and spirituality. While spirituality may incorporate elements of religion, it is generally a broader concept. Religion and spirituality are not the same thing, nor are they entirely distinct from one another. The best way to look at it is like two overlapping circles. The part that overlaps is usually belief, reflection, ethics, comfort, and awe. Someone once said about spirituality, "You do not need to know precisely what is happening or exactly where it is all going. What you need to recognize is the possibilities and challenges offered by the present moment, and to embrace them with courage, faith, and hope." What's the best tool for exploring spirituality? Like other reflective practices, mindfulness can be a tool to discover how spirituality manifests in your life. Mindfulness teaches you to be aware of what's happening in your body and mind in the present moment, and open to it with curiosity and kindness. This allows you to explore beliefs, perspectives, and experiences in new ways that might lead you to a new insight around spiritual questions. I hope this video gave you a little more insight into spirituality. Thank you so much for joining us on another spiritual learning video. Please check out the playlist Spiritual Learning for more content like this. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.